Tony Dungy, NBC Football Night in America analyst. Tony, how's the offseason?
Hey, the off-season's been great, Dan. Getting a lot of things done, having fun, and looking forward to next year already. But it was a fun off-season, just relaxing.
The Eagles just signed LeGarrette Blount to a one-year deal. What's your reaction to that?
I'm surprised. I don't understand players sometimes. I don't know that you could have a better situation than he had in New England. And I don't know if it's about money or what, but it seems like you would say, you know what, I can win, I can be utilized, I can score a lot of touchdowns. I don't understand, but, hopefully it works out for him. Philadelphia, needs a power back, so maybe it'll be good. But if I don't know why you would not want to play for the Patriots in his situation.
Well, maybe it's to get paid because he's already got his Super Bowl rings, so that might have something to do with it.
Everybody does, and you can't knock people for wanting to get paid. That's part of it. But, gosh, I always felt like you win enough Super Bowls and you're going to reap a lot of benefits. And maybe running back, though, it's a different situation. You say, I've only got so many carries, so many years. I got to ring the bell and get that big payday one time. But I know we had guys who did that. I remember Dominic Rose after our Super Bowl went to Oakland, and he got paid well, but he came back to us and said he wished he hadn't have taken that hiatus.
Can you see any of these rookie quarterbacks playing significant time this year?
I really could. I'm curious with Deshaun Watson. I'm hearing everything they're saying. Hey, we're not going to play him early, and but you see what happened last year with Carson Wentz, and how well he played. I just think, especially now, when you invest that much and you get these guys, you have to get them on the field. To me, sooner than later.
Also, I know you've had some comments. New York Newsday had some quotes with Colin Kaepernick. The biggest reason why Colin Kaepernick is not on a team right now is what?
I think the perception of his talent. Yes, it all stems back to not kneeling for the national anthem and the reaction that's going to get from fans. But if people perceive Colin Kaepernick as a difference maker, as a guy who could be their starting quarterback and help them win games, he would be signed now, and people would deal with the repercussions. I think everybody sees him maybe as a backup. Is he a guy who can, really help us? Am I just going to get 3 or 4 games a year? If that's the case, it's not worth the headache. It's not worth the distraction. It's not worth the number of fans we would turn off. I think that goes without saying.
Would you take Colin Kaepernick?
I don't have a problem with what Colin Kaepernick did in expressing his feelings. I think he's getting better at, really letting people know why he's doing things. I would be evaluating what can he bring to the table. Is he going to help us win? And I still think if you design the system for him and utilize him right, that weaponry, it makes sense in Seattle. I'm hearing that they might be interested. He could run the same offense. He'd give you some of the same things that Russell Wilson gives. If Wilson gets hurt like he did last year and wasn't as effective in there for stretches, you've got a guy who could win some games for you in that system. So, yes, I think in certain situations, now if you're sitting there and you're just a drop-back passing and you're not going to change the system for him, you probably won't get what you need.
Yeah, that's the key. Talking to Tony Dungy, Football Night in America analyst, is he going in as a starter or as a backup, and what's the system like when you get there? Seattle, he can go in. He understands the system. He played against them twice a year when he was in San Francisco. What I don't understand, Tony, is the Jets and Browns not interested in Colin Kaepernick. Why?
Well, they're looking for long-term solutions, and they've got certain style that they're going to play. That's I think what has everybody baffled in the football world is we see these situations where people don't have quarterbacks. They're not winning. They don't have a guy they can hang their hat on, and we say, wouldn't you at least look at this guy who's been to Super Bowls and caused problems and put up 400-yard total offense games? Wouldn't you at least look? And that's what is baffling to people because there aren't enough quality quarterbacks to go around.
Yeah, I look at the Browns situation. Well, let me start with the Jets. I think if I have 3 or 4 quarterbacks, that means I don't have one quarterback, right?
That's the old saying, and I believe you're right.
And then with the Browns, I understand what Hugh Jackson's doing, that they missed out on Carson Wentz. Maybe they found gold in Deshaun Kaiser, but they're not close. They could be in this situation again next year, Tony, and then they could be on the clock and the quarterback staring them right in the face.
To me, that's the thing that kind of hits you with Cleveland's situation. You passed on some quarterbacks. You said, hey, we evaluated all these guys. We don't really like them enough. And some of these guys have done well. But the problem is the guys that you picked, you still don't have one. So if you passed on Carson Wentz and you had good quarterback play, that would be one thing. But when you pass on those guys and it doesn't seem like you filled the bill, then that's when people get a little bit gun shy. So I think they do. They've got to find a guy, and they've got to say, this is our guy. We're going to play him and develop him and go. And that's really what they need to get that franchise going.
Tom Brady's wife a couple hours ago on the CBS Morning Show said that Tom had a concussion. He's had concussions every year. We don't know. We've never heard anything about this. There was no report, no injury report, diagnosis with Tom Brady. Do you think Peyton never lied to you and that he had a concussion and never told you?
I think that happens a lot of times. I think guys do not want to tell you. And I'll say this, I had more guys tell me that they could go, they were ready to go, there was nothing wrong with them. And the doctors are saying, no, you have to hold them out. I can tell you I had 3 playing football, 1 in college and 2 in the NFL. One I told the doctors, and one I really didn't. You get a little lightheaded. You're off on the bench. You recover, and you just go back in. That's kind of the nature of the beast. I think we're educating our players better now, but I'm sure there are guys who have them that tell their wives, that don't tell the team, the coaches, or the doctor.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation here because it's not like an unnamed source. This is his wife saying he's had concussions every year, and he had a concussion last season and didn't miss any time. What's the NFL? What do you do with this information if you're the NFL?
Well, I don't think it's new. I don't think that's surprising. I would say that probably happens a lot, and I don't think you can blame the league. All you can do is educate. If guys, it's one thing if she says, hey, the doctors knew and the team knew and everybody knew, but they didn't put it out. I think what she's saying is, hey, he may have come home and told me and not told anybody else. So I don't know. I think you just have to try to continue to monitor it, to continue to have the people in place to look. But we've been on the sideline. We were there in Denver, and we saw Cam Newton get rocked. And how are they not stopping this game? How are they not taking him off the field?
Yeah.
So it's an inexact science right now, monitoring it for sure.
Yeah, but these guys don't want to come out. Brady,
they don't.
Peyton wouldn't come out of a game, Tony, even when he wasn't injured or had a concussion. He just refused to come out even if it was a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, it's just guys want to play. They want to be there. That's the mentality of football from way back. And I know my last few years, we did try to educate the players. Hey, you've got to let us know. You've got to self-report. You've got to report on your teammates. If the guy's having a problem, an injury, you've got to be the good teammate and let us know. We had all kinds of people looking for it. But, again, that player's mentality is, hey, I've got to play, and I'm always going to tell you that I'm well enough to play. So some other way you have to figure it out.
Tone, good to talk to you. Good to see you the other night, and I'll be seeing you soon.
Always good, brother. Looking forward to it.
It's Tony Dungy, Football Night in America.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.